It's Tuesday, September 25. This is the news on PBCJ. I am Simone Absalom. Parliament will complete the legislative process for the extension of the current state of emergency in the St. Catherine North Police Division to January 2 when it meets at Gordon House this afternoon. There were no amendments arising from last Friday's debate, which was approved on the basis of 19 of the 21 members of the Senate approving the extension, with 2 absentees from the voting. A 2/3 majority of the membership of both Houses of Parliament is required for the approval of the extensions. This means that the absence of Government Senator Matthew Samuda, who was in Halifax, Canada for the G7 environmental meeting, and Opposition Senator K.D. Knight, who left Gordon House prior to the vote but took part in the debate, made no difference to the outcome. The extension of the St. Catherine SOE becomes effective on October 3. Calls are being made for the government to find alternatives to a state of public emergency in response to the country's crime problem. Reverend Adinhere Jones, the chairman of the Jamaica Umbrella Group of Churches, conceded on Monday that the state of emergency is a necessary short-term intervention at this time, given the crime situation in the country. But he said the church group was wary that the emergency measure could become a long-term arrangement. Reverend Jones adds that a long-term plan was needed to address the root causes of crime and violence. Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Sunday announced a state of public emergency across sections of the Kingston Central, Kingston Western, and St. Andrew South Police Divisions. That's the 3rd such state of emergency to have been imposed since the start of the year. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is calling for the unification of leaders across the world for peace. Addressing the Nelson Mandela Peace Summit at the United Nations General Assembly in New York on Monday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness underscored the importance of Nelson Mandela's role in promoting peace.
I am deeply honored to participate in this summit, which comes at a time of heightened global concern about hostility and conflict within some of our societies, with some regimes focused on the use of might rather than the protection of rights. The centenary of Nelson Mandela's birth provides space for us as world leaders to affirm the need for healthy and meaningful dialogue to engender peace, reconciliation, and communal accord. These, I believe, are principles that Mandela would very much wish us to promote on this occasion.
The Prime Minister noted that the Peace Summit comes at a time of heightened global concern about hostility and conflict in some regions. Against this background, the Prime Minister said the leaders are required to make significant sacrifices for peace. He's reported saying, quote, "Like Mandela, we too must commit to the consolidation of peaceful coalitions. What better occasion than this summit to do just that? Let that be our legacy in his honor." End quote. The high-level plenary meeting on global peace was held in honor of the centenary of the birth of Nelson Mandela, known as the Nelson Mandela Peace Summit. The Industrial Disputes Tribunal, IDT, is set to host a meeting today involving the University and Allied Workers Union and the management of St. Anne-based Noranda, Jamaica bauxite. More than 180 production workers at the company walked off the job Monday morning. They complained about being treated unfairly by Noranda. Lambert Brown, president of the UAWU, is hopeful that the parties will reach a settlement following today's meeting. The US dollar ended trading yesterday at $135.95, down by 37 cents. That's according to the Bank of Jamaica's daily foreign exchange trading summary. It was also reported the Canadian dollar ended trading at $106.26, up from $105.86, while the British pound sterling ended trading at $177.90, down from $179.33. In sports, we bowl off with cricket. West Indies are not at their best, but still brushed aside South Africa by 17 runs in Bridgetown, Barbados yesterday, as they began their final preparation for the defense of the 2020 World Cup title in November with a comfortable victory. Choosing to bat first at Kensington Oval, the hosts stumbled their way to 124 for 6 of their 20 overs, but then restricted the Proteas to 107 for 7 to take an important 1-0 lead in the 5-match T20 series, which now moves to Trinidad for the remaining games. Natasha McLean top-scored 38 of 41 balls to snatch the Player of the Match award in her first appearance for West Indies in 3 years, while all-rounder Deandra Dottin chipped in with 22, but the remainder of the batting flopped. In athletics, Kingston College's Shantamoy Brown and Immaculate Conception High's Daniel Slowly, respectively, will captain Jamaica's Generation Next in track and field at the International Olympic Committee World Youth Olympic Games in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The Jamaica Olympic Association says in total 13 ambassadors will be carrying the nation's hopes at the global event scheduled for October 4 to October 18 in the South American country. And that's the news. Thanks so much for making it PBCJ. Remember, we are the People's Station.